Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Jen the Liberty Lion, and I'm going to do this video as a quick update for the videos that I plan on making in the future. So starting here in the next few days, I've got a list of videos that I want to put out, and this list may include under each item several videos. So I just wanted to touch base with everybody and make sure that you all know that I'm still here and I'm still thinking about our topics and what we can talk about next. So to expand our knowledge and to expand our people that watch these videos, the subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about a few other topics that I think are in line with what we've talked about in the past and sort of expand on some of those things. I also want to include current events in my future videos that I can break down some of these things like executive orders, laws, my interpretation of them, what I think the tactics and strategies are in some of these things that the government is putting out, and hopefully teach people a little bit more about future thinking and what the consequences are, immediate and not immediate. So my next video is going to be on deception, manipulation, military, the strategies and tactics that they use. And I promised this video back probably about a month ago, and I've done videos on this before. So if you want to go back and search through some of the past videos, you'll find one or two videos on this back there. But I'm going to add some military manuals, some military papers, possibly some CIA documents that will help people understand the government's and military's perception of strategies and how they go about manipulating people and their perceptions, and how they use the media and papers and various types of propaganda, including the education system, people that they say are on the ground, regular people and not mass media, but like independent people doing their own things, and how some of these people may even be manipulating the minds of citizens. We'll also go over some books that I've read that have to do with political fraud, deception, tactics, strategies that they use to get people to accept the things that they're putting out as being one thing, but underlying these things are other consequences that we don't immediately see. And there'll be more videos sort of separate but still kind of on that topic. The next set of videos I want to do is on violence and when violence is appropriate. This is going to be more of a physical, hands-on, situational awareness, self-defense type set of videos that I'm going to put out, which will include the parts of the body that an attacker will use, even if you're attacking to defend yourself. So you've been attacked and now you want to attack back. You want to know what parts of the body you want to attack on that person, like the throat, the eyes, the nose, and so on. So those are the target areas. But you also want to know where on your body you want to use to attack that person. So I plan on doing some actual scenarios involving other people where they attack me on my parts of my body that are the target areas, and they will use parts of their body so that we can have a visual of how to do these things. So this is not going to include any kind of martial arts. I like Muay Thai. I've done some training in Muay Thai. That's just a form of kickboxing. I really enjoy it. I like it, but you don't have to know any kind of martial arts to be able to do this kind of thing. So it's not going to be that kind of fighting or that kind of self-defense. It's going to be actual real world scenarios where if you get attacked in a parking lot or in your home, what you can do, what options you have to defend yourself. I'm going to talk about in these videos several different things, like the social aspects and the asocial aspects of people's personalities. So if we were to break down all people, when we're talking about when to be violent and when not to be violent, we're talking about people who are not violent, and then we're talking about people who really have no problem being violent, and how people who are social people who are normally not violent will sometimes have to be violent to defend themselves. And so we have this empathy type of people who don't want to be violent, and so they won't attack their attacker in a way that actually saves their life, but just makes their attacker angry and have them attack them even more. We're also going to talk about cause and effect, and then the scenarios, as long as I can get my people who've made promises to me to come through on their promises and actually be on camera, because there's a lot of people who just don't want to be on camera. As long as they come through with their promises and come onto camera with me, then we'll be able to show some real scenario type situations to give people an idea of what they can do in these different things that can happen to them. So our third set of videos, I want to go over current events. One of these things that I want to go over is, for example, the Texas flooding. That'll probably be my next video, since it's happening now. It's happened, and I just want to give sort of an update and some thoughts on my perception of the meanings of the public servants who've come out and talked during the process of this event folding and unfolding, to help people understand strategies and tactics and what it is that some of these politicians mean, or these public servants mean when they say certain things. So as far as the Texas flooding, I want to talk about the tactics and strategies, but I also want to talk about what's up with the weather. And people have been saying this is a conspiracy, it's a result of cloud seeding, and so I want to look into that. I also want to look into the topography of certain areas where a lot of this flooding happens. So why is the Guadalupe River in that area called the it's called something like the Flood Valley or something like that, Flood Alley? And why it's called this, and why this is happening in so many areas of the United States right now. We also want to talk about radars, the cloud seeding, why they're cloud seeding, how to tell when something as a result of weather has been a result of cloud seeding. So we're going to get into some of that stuff. And I really want to look at, from a realistic point of view, whether this is conspiracy or whether it's just scared people talking, trying to make sense of all these crazy things that are happening in our environment. Now, just to let you know, I'm not a person who jumps up and says, oh, conspiracy, conspiracy. I'm more of a realistic person. I want to sit down, I want to think, I want to see all points of view. I want to look at the science behind things, and I want to truly understand things. I don't want to be emotional about things. I want to really understand things. And so I'll be talking about things not from so much an emotional point of view, not to disclude our emotions because they're important, but to look at things more from a scientific perspective. So for the distinction between meanings, so the fourth set of videos will be distinction between meanings. So we have things that are written down, and this is a formal meaning. They have a formal meaning. They're written. There's actual words on the paper. And when we read these words, are we thinking of the consequences as being intuitive? So are we looking at the words, making an intuitive judgment and just or an emotional judgment about what we're reading and just going off that? Are we looking at the words and thinking of the immediate results of these words on the paper? So we want to contrast this formal meaning with a real meaning, a real actual result of the things that are written on the paper. So we can read something and we can say, okay, well, that means that, but that's our initial thought. We need to start thinking about what's meant at a deeper level. And this is the real meaning. So what happens as a result that are not intuitive, that are not intuitively thought of or emotionally thought of when we initially read the words on the paper and we're initially thinking about what the results are going to be. So the consequences of the words immediately apparent results in things that are not readily apparent to us. So the later results, the results after the first set of results, a lot of people don't think beyond that. They don't think about what happens after the first set of things that happen. And we need to start thinking about the long term. This is called future thinking. Future thinkers are better at processing information and planning for things, making adjustments to their lives. And these people are said to be quite smarter than a lot of people. And so what we want to do is we want to look at how to see the strategies and the tactics beyond the initial set of actions. What's truly meaningful behind the first set of actions. So we're going to be reading between the lines, so to speak, and the actions after the first set of actions, not the immediate consequences that we expect initially, but the second-hand actions that are the results of the results. So how these results, more distant in time, are results of political strategies and tactics, manipulated results that occur more behind the scenes that people don't immediately see or recognize. That's what we want to look at. And my last set of videos that will all sort of be intertwined. I'm not going to sit here and do number 1 set of videos, then number 2 set of videos, and then eventually get to 5. I'm going to be doing all of these sort of, one day I'll do deception and manipulation, and the next day I might do a current event because something has come up. So current event videos are going to be the 5th set of videos, taking into account aspects of what we just talked about, the formal meanings of things and the real meanings of things. It's not what you say, it's what you do. And even then, it's not what you do, but the results. What are the results of what you said and done? So you can do things and you can say, oh, okay, there's a result to what he's done, but then there's more results or a ripple effect or a domino effect that occurs later. So we want to talk about these things. What are the later dominoes that are going to fall because of this first thing that we may not initially see when something's first put out, like an executive order. So seeing and projecting distant results to help us determine the immediate or immediately determine the strategy so that we can understand the manipulations and the tactics that are taking place now. So this is my plan for my videos over the next several months probably, and it's going to include, like I said, some strategies on self-defense. Not all of it's going to be showing you how to do it, but explaining to you the body parts that you need to use to do these things. But there's also the number one, the deception and the manipulation that occurs, and that comes from the mind. So you're going to learn self-defense of the body, but you're also, some of these other things are going to be self-defense of our minds. So for those of you who have been watching my videos, I explained to you that there's a very old military dictionary that explains arms as being anything you use to defend yourself. So the right to bear your arms is the right to show your power. So arms is just a type of power, any type of power. It can be power of your mind, it could be power of your body. And we know that to be true because the military is the thing, the institution that we use to defend the free people, right? The national institution we have to defend all of us. And the military will use their minds, they'll use propaganda, they'll use weapons, they'll use buildings, they'll dig ditches and get in ditches and then shoot at people, they'll put up fences. Arms is anything you can use to assert power over another set of people. And so all of this is sort of intertwined. So the result of all these things I'm going to be talking about is your right to bear your arms that you have in your mind that you can use, the things that you write on paper, the things that you can pick up and throw or shoot or whatever. So it's all about your right to self-defense in any way you can find to use that. So that's the purpose of all of this, and so we're going to be going over that, and I hope that you stay tuned for the next many videos that I'll be posting, and be ready to do a little bit of studying, because I want you to look at the PDFs that I'll be posting for the anatomy, the human anatomy, for things that you can use to know where to hit somebody and know what part of your body that you can use, the strong parts of your body that you can use to inflict that damage on them. There may be some books that you might want to pick up and read. Some of them will be PDFs, some of them you'll have to go buy somewhere, probably on Amazon or Forgotten Books, or one of the online libraries where you can find to download the PDFs or whatever. So stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe. Share this channel with your friends. Please post it on your Facebook or whatever social media you have, so that we can start to get people to understand self-defense and how we can go about bearing our arms against anyone who's using any sort of tactic or strategy or asocial violence to take from us our lives or our state of mind, our peaceful state of mind, or whatever else we have that we want to protect. And that's including the weather that they may be using to use as an arm against people. So, okay, so stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, notification, make a comment in the comment section, and I'll be seeing you all soon. Have a great day.